Is Onepunchman being directed by a Gooner director? Yeah. Am I wanting to see Fubuki animated by an H director? Yeah. Anyways, before we get started, make sure to comment and subscribe. It helps me out a lot, baby boys. And if you watch this video from the beginning to the end, I freaking love you. Gotta fix the camera after I made out with it. Alright bros, the downfall of Onepunchman, the anime, has to be studied, man. I was there when the manga came out. I was there when the anime was announced. It was one of my very first videos I ever made. Look, it's right here. Yeah, I was there for everything.
Dude,
everything was fine and dandy up until JC Staff took over for season 2. And all you JC Staff defenders that are saying that like, oh no, JC Staff is doing a wonderful job with Onepunchman, get out of here with that, man. Me and you and my mom knows that JC Staff has been ruining Onepunchman. Now, I'm gonna say season 2 wasn't like that bad, but it could have been better. Now, let's jump forward to Onepunchman season 3 and who's directing it. So who's directing Onepunchman season 3? Now, I might what's going on? I can't talk. I might mess this up. So I'm gonna read it here. The director is called Shinipe Nagai. I'm not that good with Japanese, you know? I need subtitles on my screen. Now, I have no idea who this director is, and I have no idea what he's done, right? So I had to look him up, right? Yeah, I had to look him up for Sad Boy Lonely Hours at Night. Yeah. Now, to be honest, I don't think it's a big deal like that, like talent comes from the Gooner industry, right? I know a lot of voice actors that actually started in the H industry and made it big in the anime community, right? Honestly, like, I think that's where you start off as a beginner in some situations when you're like trying to be an animator or a voice actor in Japan, right? I don't live there, so I'm just assuming. Now, this is where like the director Shinpei actually comes from, right? He comes from the Gooner industry. Look, I don't have an issue with this guy, right? Animating Onepunchman season 3. Well, I kind of do. Let me explain real quick. So the issue is not with him. He actually looks like he's a genuine guy that actually cares for what he's gonna bring to the table, right? What I'm most concerned about is JC Staff. That's who I have the issue with, man. JC Staff, the whole company as a whole, dog. And let me tell you why, because it's their fault for choosing an inexperienced director. Now, I'm not saying that in a bad way where it's just like, oh dude, this guy doesn't know how to do anything. Of course he does, he's an animator. But what I'm trying to say is like, for Onepunchman season 3, Onepunchman, man, we're not talking about like freaking slice of life Gooner anime moments, you know, like High School DxD or stuff like that, you know? We're talking about like an action-packed anime that has to live up to season 1. Now, I'm not saying that it's gonna look like season 1, but something around there would be pretty nice, you know? JC Staff is actually taking like a note from Marvel's playbook, right? And what I mean by that is that, like, for example, the Marvels, the Eternals, Marvel grabbed inexperienced people. And what I mean by that is that, like, yeah, like they've worked on TV shows and movies, right? But they've never handled like a full like billion-dollar project. And that's what I mean, that JC Staff chose somebody like Mr. Napai here. Oh no, my bad. Mr. Shinpai to animate basically a $1 billion anime, whatever, you know. What I mean by that is that like the anime itself, if you've seen like what's gonna be like in season 3 of Onepunchman and forward, when the fight with Garu and everything, I don't want to spoil it if you're an anime fan only. But if you've seen all that, you know, like, you know that you need at least a very talented group of people. And I don't think the Onepunchman community would have minded waiting longer to look for somebody that was available if it means that they're gonna get like the greatest adaptation in the world, you know? Now, let's see what's his name? I keep messing up his name. I don't speak Japanese. Shinpei. Now, Shinpei did a statement on Twitter, and we're gonna review that statement right here, right now, live on the channel. All right, so this comes from his Twitter account. It says, "Hello everyone, nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you too, dog. Welcome to the One Punch Man fan base. I'm Shinpei Nagai, the director of One Punch... Wait, I'm supposed to read it in character. I'm Shinpei Nagai, the director of One Punch Man Season 3. I completely understand everyone's reactions. Please calm down and hear me out. If you would, please. I'll explain why I was chosen, and it might be a bit long. But please, listen. I've been a freelancer from the beginning. After being a freelancer, I stepped into the world of anime, with the first anime being called Hiro no Kakera. Let's look that up real quick. Damn, so he's like really new. Well, kinda, like 2012? That's still pretty, it's okay. And then he states, I learned how to create hybrid anime with 3D in project called Aquarion logos. And after that, I switched to a 3D company for just 1 year, contributing to image boards for altered carbon and such. My goal was always Manglobe? Didn't that company oh, that company did close down, what the heck? I honed my skills on the episode 6 of Gangsta. Hey, for you guys that don't know about the anime Gangsta, Chef's Kiss, I wish it got another season, but the company did close down. I was aiming for a hybrid of 3D CG and hand-drawn animation, but as everyone knows, Manglobe ended up closing. Yeah, that's kind of sad actually. In the midst of all that, JC Staff became a long-term partner, commissioning me for storyboards and direction throughout the years. However, since I'm relatively unknown and don't have standout achievements as an animator, I thought I would give a bad impression. So I asked to keep it under wraps. Then, when the consolation of One Punch Man Season 3 came up, I focused on incorporating a new workflow, something I discussed in the CG world, bringing 3D and 2D workflows to squeeze out even 1 more second of production time. I sincerely apologize for keeping it quiet about this. The team is giving it all. I can't discuss details about the production, but I am open to answering what I can with limits. That's like the full breakdown of his Twitter statement, I guess. Look, honestly, like being real honest with you guys, this dude sounds chill. He's a hardworking dude that, yeah, he started in the Gooner section, and now he's trying to like basically come up into like into the mainstream, right? And he's been at it since 2012. And like reading all this, you could make an argument saying like, hey, it's just a dude that is trying to make it big, just like you, dog. And yeah, man, like I understand, right? He actually, like, I had to look him up, right? He actually worked on like an episode in Psycho-Pass, Shokugeki no Soma, Banana Fish, Gangster, some Dr. Stone stuff. So this guy like does have a little small amount of work behind him. But look, I'm not blaming it all on him at all. I'm really not. Who I'm blaming is JC Staff, because even though this could potentially, and I hope it is, this director's big break into the mainstream, if it fails, honestly, it's JC Staff for giving such a huge project to somebody with like such like little credits in like action, you know, because most of the stuff he's worked on is or Pokemon, and not a lot of action, you know. All right, to wrap this whole thing up, right? At the end of the day, I do wish another studio would have handled the One Punch Man series after Madhouse. I'm not saying like, oh, I want it to look exactly like season 1. No, season 1, from what I understand, was a once-in-a-lifetime thing, right? Bringing a group of animators that were like really passionate about that season, and just everything worked, you know. It was like the hallelujah of anime, right? So I do not expect it to go back to that level, but just for One Punch Man, man, we're not talking about like a like unknown obscure anime, right? We're talking about a really well established, like, you know, anime with a really well established fan base from the beginning. I mean, the creator one literally started off with doodles, and to see it grow into this big franchise must be amazing for him. So I think what it would have deserved would have been like a studio like 100% behind it. The director, I feel like he is behind it, but just the studio is just like, they pump out productions like me when I eat Taco Bell, dog. I just want a better studio behind One Punch Man, you know? And if you see what's coming up, man, like the freaking battles that Saitama and Garou are gonna have, you know? That whole arc, like the water monster, everything. Man, not even all those milk shots that Shenpi like was drawing is gonna help him from drawing the battle versus Garou and Saitama. No, I'm just kidding, man. Look, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, dog. You know, like you go from drawing milk shots to like drawing like actual like action and fighting and stuff, and there's a fly in this room. At the end of the day, we have a man of culture directing One Punch Man Season 3, and that's all that matters, dog. What do you guys think about this? Make sure to let me know in the comments, and I'll see you baby boys later.